We'll be back in a minute at the Phoenix 150.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
For the first time in 1970, the cry is heard across the land. The familiar cry of "Gentlemen, start your engine." That was the voice of CM Charlie Alexander, the promoter of the race here, the Phoenix 150, 150 laps of this 1 mile track. There should be no scheduled pit stops. And there are the cars just about getting ready to move out. These machines made for only one purpose, to race, incapable even of starting themselves. The device must be inserted in the rear engines of all of these cars except one, there being one front engine car, before they are able to move. With the engines going now, they'll begin to move out. There is Mario Andretti, car number 1, last year's winner of the Indianapolis 500, and the USAC, U.S. Auto Club national champion. Beside him will be car number 2, Al Unser, the second fastest qualifier. And all the others moving out under this hot Arizona sun. A look from overhead from our camera situated on a nearby hill. Working with us this afternoon, as always in these race telecasts, will be my colleague, the editor of National Speed Sport News. Let's bring in now Chris Economaki.
Thank you, Jim. Well, Phoenix is living up to its title of being in the Valley of Sun today. The race, Mario Andretti on the pole, as Jim said, but not with a new track record. Other Indianapolis winners in the field, Bobby Unser, and 3-time Indianapolis champion A.J. Foyt, who said moments before the start that he is suspicious of his engine. He thinks he may have burned a piston, and he doesn't expect to be too good a competitor today. The wind has sprung up again. The flags are stout from the staff, and it could be a trouble. There could be trouble because of the wind. And now, back to you, Jim.
All right, Chris, and remember that this picture and all of this race will be coming to you live and in color on Wide World of Sports today as you're watching Andretti on the pole in the red car, and outside him Al Unser in car number 2, the blue one there. Let's bring in the other member of our broadcast team. Working in the pits today will be former Indianapolis 500 winner and now the public relations director of the new Ontario Raceway in California. That's going to be a fabulous place. Roger Ward. Roger?
Thank you, Jim. And the story from the pits is the fact that Roger McCluskey, the home state hero, will not be a part of this race. He had the misfortune of wrecking his car yesterday in a practice run. However, there will be lots of activity, and I'll be here to report it to you.
All right, thank you very much, Roger. And now let's try to set this field. Once again, the first row, Mario Andretti, car number 1, fastest qualifier at more than 128 miles an hour, and Al Unser in car number 2. He was second to Mario in the USAC race, the national championship last year, and earned that number 2. In the second row, car number 3 will be Bobby Unser, brother to Al and winner of the Indianapolis 500 in 1968. Next to him in that red, white, and blue car that looks very much like Captain America, car number 12 will be the veteran from Texas, Lloyd Ruby. Moving along to the third row, car number 7, the orange Coyote, will be A.J. Foyt, who did have trouble in qualifying with his engine, although he was plenty fast enough. Next to A.J. Foyt in car number 22 will be Wally Dallenbach, the pride of New Jersey. The next row will be car number 10, Art Pollard, and number 9, Mike Mosley. In row 5, we'll have number 5, that's Gordon Johncock, and number 16, Gary Bettenhausen, son of the late famous Tony Bettenhausen. Getting set now, and we could get a start. This looks like we're going to get a start this time. When they come around, setting the rest of the field, we'll have Jimmy McElreath and George Snyder, Steve Prisloff and Bruce Walkup, Bill Simpson, Bruce Jacoby, Jerry Carl, Johnny Anderson, Ned Spath, Darrell Dockery, Carl Bussin, Dick Simon, Ludwig Heimroth, and Nick DioGuardi. Chris Economaki. If they don't go this time, maybe we can get a look at this race course.
That's right. DioGuardi seems to be having trouble with that number 68 Chevrolet, Jim, and the field may be one light when the green flag waves. There's a beautiful view of this 1 mile circuit. DioGuardi's crew is trying to get the car started.
Okay, they've been given one more lap, so go ahead, Chris.
We had a chance to chat with Al Unser yesterday about the circuit, and you can see the cars are proceeding through turn 1, where in racing areas they crowd the inside there before getting on the gas to carry out. As they approach turn number 2 under competition conditions, they get on the throttle here and let the car go very wide out to come within about 6 feet of this point at the end of the fence right there. It's close going right there. Then it's back on the gas down this straightaway to a point about in here where there's a little rise in the track. And this is a touchy spot because the car gets light going over it and they have to brake. And then as the car comes down, they must make certain that it's pointed straight. And then going into turn 3, it's a normal entry, crowding the inside of the turn, throughout turn 3 and the entry to turn 4. Exiting turn 4, where Roger McCluskey crashed yesterday, it's a little bit tricky. They come up and they head for the outside rail, and then make a left-hand bend, and they're off, Jim.
There's the green flag from starter Shim Malone, and into the first turn. It's Mario Andretti in car number 1 in the lead. Andretti quickly taking the lead. And car number 98, Johnny Anderson, has been signaled to come into the pitch.
It looks, Jim, as though the starter shaft may have been left into the car. We've got competition on the track now as they come off alternating turn 1.
Andretti and Al Unser taking the lead. Bobby Unser is in third place, but already there's a little space between him and the first 2 cars. So the 2 men who finished 1-2 in last year's USAC National Championship, Mario Andretti and Al Unser, are 1-2 right now. There's been a lot of talk that Al Unser just could have the fastest car of this year, potentially be a winner of the Indianapolis 500. Car number 68 has come into the pits.
There's the battle for the lead. It's close, and the 2 leaders, Jim, are pulling away from the rest of the field. Number 52, Jerry Carl of New Jersey, has pulled his car in the pit. The first race of the year bugs are already starting to show themselves.
And number 68, Nick Giovanni, also in the pit, so 2 cars are out of it already.
Follow Andretti's line below the yellow line in the corners, and Unser is not letting him pull away. Dioghiardi is trying to be started by pushing from his mechanics now and hopes to get into the competition.
And there goes Al Unser making a move going into turn 1, but he drops back behind Andretti. There's these 2 cars battling for the lead right now in the early going of the Phoenix 150 under a hot desert sun, first Indianapolis car race of the year.
The class is being shown by the leaders, Jim, as they're pulling away now to more than a 100-yard lead over the third-place car. Get into the turn.
Here they
Car
are.
number 3, Bobby Unser, lies third, brother of Al.
Okay, it's Andretti and Al Unser. And then it's Bobby Unser. And then Lloyd Ruby. Lloyd Ruby in 4th position in the red, white, and blue racer. Number 12. Al Unser hanging right on the tail of Mario Andretti.
Quite a tribute to the crew behind Al Unser's car. It's a brand new automobile, Jim, one of 3 new cars in the race, and usually it takes a while for a new car to be this competitive. Andretti is driving the car which he won the Indianapolis 500 in last year and the National Championship.
Okay, Bobby Unser is still third, but now Wally Dallenbach in car number 22 has moved past Lloyd Ruby into 4th place. First change of standing since the start of the race among the leaders.
And now the leaders are overlapping the slower cars, Jim.
That'll give you some idea of just how fast these cars are. There's a good idea of speed as they go past one of the slower cars. Getting a clocking here. We'll try to give you the speed on this. They come to the finish line. This is unofficial, but there goes Andretti in 29 5/10 seconds, which is 122.03 miles an hour. Another car is coming into the pits.
That's Dick Simon at number 44. Jim, he's a man who started racing here at a late age, an insurance broker, and he's got some flames coming out of the exhaust pipe. Heat and a little bit of engine trouble there.
So it looks like the attrition rate will be high here in the first race of the season, which would figure with these comparisons.